The hardest part of real estate isn't the paperwork, it's the people who ghost you halfway through the deal.
Most people think realtors spend their days opening doors and smiling in photos. But behind every sale is a mix of chaos, emotions, and a little comedy. So what does this really mean? Not to complain and all, but to help viewers understand what makes a great agent invaluable.
Or agents in our case.
So if you ever wondered what we deal with day to day, this is your Backstage pass.
We're gonna give you an all-exclusive backstage view of what real estate agents really do every day to help you get across the finish line.
Here's a real life example of the behind the scenes of a realtor. We just got a phone call the other day. A person wanted to see at least 10 houses. We go, well, yay, that's exciting. However, we try to encourage our buyers to only cap it at 5 houses, just because those houses start to blend into each other so that those houses don't get their special spotlight. So they agreed, and then we go into our work mode. So what does our work mode look like, Chad?
So we start scheduling the showings, we set up routes so that it makes sense when we see those 5 houses. We're not crisscrossing town all over the place. We don't want to go from the north side to the south side, back to the north side, to downtown. So we set up a route that makes sense.
That means a lot of Google mapping and trying to make sure we hit those routes that makes sense, meaning that we're going to do a big circle kind of thing.
Exactly. We'll talk to the listing agents if they have any special instructions for us, see if our buyer decides to make an offer, if there's any wants that the seller may want in that offer, those kinds of things, if there's any.
We ask those tough questions so you don't have to.
If there's anything special about the house that we should spotlight for our buyers when we're there touring it.
And then also making sure we confirm times so that we are hitting those houses in a timely manner, that we have enough time to travel to that next property. But once we get to that first property and we're waiting and there's no shows.
That's the worst.
That is the worst.
The buyer just doesn't show up, Aalia.
Exactly. And then we start to wonder, should we call the police? Should we call the FBI to start doing a manhunt? Or should we assume that they fell in love with Zillow again?
It happens. It actually happens a lot more than you would think, where they just ghost us and don't show up to a showing.
So the reason why we're doing this video and why it matters to buyers is because agents actually invest a lot of hours, man hours, to get you a success in purchasing your home, whether it's your first home or your 10th home, before you ever getting paid. We don't get paid at this point, okay? Ghosting actually hurts your chances when you're ready later. And what does that mean, Chad?
So it hurts your chances when you're ready later because we're less likely to trust you when you're actually truly ready later. We think to ourselves, is this buyer actually ready this time, or are they just gonna ghost us again? We have to think to ourselves, do we really wanna put in all this work again and have this buyer just totally ghost us and not show up? Or do we wanna actually put in the work and hopefully get paid this time? That's a question we have to ask ourselves and decide whether or not we wanna put in all that work again or not.
So the question goes to you guys. When you find an agent who's actually responsive and ready to go, and like you have 2 ready to go agents, I kind of respect that time, because that's how your dream home actually gets found. So we talked about buyers ghosting us. What do you think about the sellers?
We love sellers. Sellers are kind of our bread and butter. We love to work with sellers. Sellers are great. What's the saying? List to last in our industry. You want to list as many properties as you possibly can, and it helps you to last as a real estate agent. The more properties that you list, typically the longer that you last as a real estate agent. So let's tell a little story about a seller that we've had recently.
So here is our seller story. So last spring we actually sat down with a seller which has a 2-story beautiful home, and in the beautiful amount of acreage, about a 1 acre lot, and we suggested the price to be around $450,000. However, the seller said, no, let's start it at $550,000, because $550,000, and we can always come down. Always. However, did it happen? Well, what happened, Chad?
So we tried to explain to the seller that is a way to price your house and a way to strategize. However, that's kind of the old way of strategy, because buyers today are smart. If they think that your house is overpriced, they just overlook it. They keep scrolling on Zillow, on Realtor.com, on Redfin, and they don't even look at your house. So we don't recommend that you price your house too high and expect offers to come in and negotiate with buyers on lowball offers, because buyers just pass your house by. They don't even submit an offer. They don't even look at your house. They don't even schedule a tour for it. So we suggest to price your house at market price, at the price that we suggest. And then hopefully you get multiple offers and push that price even higher if we price it correctly. It creates a stir, a buzz in the marketplace.
With that being said, with a market value, if you don't know what a market value of a house is what the house is actually worth and know what a buyer will pay for your house. And usually you guys meet in the middle once everything is said and done. However, a lot of the houses in that seller, it kind of resulted in a very few showings because the buyers are bypassing it. They may put it on their watch list, and why they do that is because they're waiting for that time on the market, the days on market, to start ticking up, because of the fact that once you hit a certain amount of days, they're able to offer less than what is being listed.
A lot less usually. Or they're waiting for you to drop the price and they'll be notified when you drop the price.
So it's going to result in fewer showings, longer days on market, and lower offers. And we don't want that for our sellers at all.
Nope. Sometimes Zillow's estimate is treated like it's carved in stone for our sellers, when really it shouldn't be. It's just kind of a suggested price by Zillow. Your home is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay for it. Just keep that in mind when you're really ready to sell.
Exactly. And us agents, we have to have that tough conversation with any kind of seller or any buyer to kind of tell them what the truth of what the market is doing. Whether or not it's information you want to hear, unfortunately, it's the truth.
So let's talk about other agents real quick. One of the pet peeves that Aalia and I have are agents that don't answer their phones. When we have a buyer that's ready to put an offer in and we have questions for that listing agent, or if we're the listing agent and we're trying to get a hold of the buyer's agent for negotiations or something, and that agent doesn't answer their phone when we're trying to call them or doesn't respond to a text message, it's really frustrating because we can't get the deal done, we can't get our we can't get our questions answered, and it just delays the deal, it delays the process, and then our clients are asking us, well, what's going on? Well,
so both us and the clients are being frustrated about that. So
this is why Aalia and I make communication our top priority, whether we're representing the buyer or the seller. We make sure that we talk to everybody in a timely manner and get their questions answered.
So we've seen milk go bad faster than some agents return our phone calls.
So Aalia, let's talk about reality TV. We've all seen HGTV and House Hunters.
Oh,
Is that reality?
Not really. Nothing goes as smooth as those. TV shows actually, it shows the fun parts of real estate, you know, showing the beautiful homes, quick sales, no negotiation. They don't show the contracts of the mounds of paperwork that we have to fill, making sure we fill it correctly. Otherwise, will be on the line. Negotiations that can take days actually, or the 10 p.m. inspection calls say, hey, you know, I want these things to be repaired at 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. at night. So when you hire an agent, you're really hiring a problem solver who handles 90% of what you don't see. And yes, sometimes we drive home thinking, did we just spend all day doing free therapy because our clients needed to unload what the emotional stresses in their life that's causing them to move? Yes, we are. We are your therapists, and we love it.
Or the worst part is when you're driving home and you find that key in your pocket and you're wondering, which house does this key go to? I just showed 8 houses today.
That's never a fun feeling. Until you get the phone call from that real estate agent say, hey, where's the key?
That always happens eventually. So why do we still love it? We're always asked, especially by agents that are leaving the industry, real estate is really hard. Why do you guys stick with it? It's actually a really hard business. Alia, why do we still love real estate though?
Well, real estate actually gives us an opportunity to help those who really want to start fresh, get that new beginning, that smile when they get those keys first after the closing, the heartwarming family and friends we end up having that connection in the end. We've actually stayed in touch with pretty much all of our clients as friends as well. So that is what we do, and that's why we love real estate. And not just because it's a paycheck, it's also more than that.
Moments like those make that every ghosted phone call, text, client that doesn't show up to a showing, it makes it all worth it at the end of the day.
Exactly. So truth is, real estate isn't easy, but it's worth it when you work with people who actually care, communicate, and basically show up for you.
So this video is definitely a peek behind the curtains. If you thought that real estate was easy, do you still think that real estate was easy or not? Drop it down here in the comments. Let us know.
If you're thinking of buying, selling, or even just curious about the Kenosha market and you want agents that can communicate with you, call us or reach out to us at 262-331-1621. Call or text. So we have people like you reaching out to us every day, every week to help with our next move.
Have a great day, guys. See you in the next video.
Here is a real life example of a realtor. Nope, stop doing that. I'm trying to make it so not obvious, right? So that's what I was trying to do, and it didn't come out that way. This is why Aalia and I.
You and you.
That was good. You just do this apparently.